Hello everybody, my name is Lenny Reed, and in today's video, we're going to be training some shoulders and arms at Kelcher Fitness Center with my good buddy Tanner, and that's why this video is special. I haven't seen Tanner in a while, and he hit me up, and he's like, yo, do you want to train, dude? And I'm like, of course. I'm not going to turn down the opportunity to train with my best buddy. So we're getting right into it. We're running into some Smith machine shoulder press. Honestly, this movement is probably one of my favorite shoulder movements just for the fact that you can control every rep and make every rep look the same. And as I mentioned it before, but with the Smith machine, you're able to re-rack without a spotter. You don't need a spotter to push your limits and get to that final extra rep that you need to grow. So that is one of the beneficial things about the Smith machine, the ability to train without a spotter and get the most out of your lift. These two first working sets of my shoulder and arm day, I'm treating as a heavy pressing movement. I'm making sure that I'm failing in about the 8 to 15 rep range, which is pretty reasonable for hypertrophy and strength. Now, as you can see at the start of this clip, me and Tanner's form differs a little bit, but it really doesn't matter where you have your hand placement. It just felt more comfortable with me and how long I've been doing it for to keep my hands a little bit in from where Tanner's are at. I think he has his probably at about the ring, where the ring is on the outside of the bar, and I have mine just inside of that. It feels more comfortable for me, and it doesn't put my shoulders in a complicated position. Now, if you're not feeling any pain and you're pressing the same way Tanner is, keep going for it, because I didn't see really anything wrong with this first working set other than he maybe could have been a little bit up closer to the bar. You can see the bars coming a little bit in front of him, but other than that, his form's very solid, and he's taken this out all the way to failure like I've taught him to do. And if you can do this like Tanner's doing, you're going to grow. And I really have been noticing size on Tanner, so this is a great thing to teach him to train like this. And if he can replicate this every lift, there's no reason why he couldn't be as big as me. So moving into my second working set, I did drop the weight by about 10 pounds, knowing that I wasn't going to be able to get as much reps as the first working set, and I still wanted to work in the 18 to 15 rep range. So we're getting right back at it. You can see where I talked about the hand placement in the last Tanner clip, and look where mine is at this. I've got my elbows a little bit more tucked in as well. Feels very comfortable. And the only reason why I'm reiterating form and talking about it so much is the fact that I've had injuries in the past while executing these same movements. They weren't major injuries, but it was just simple shoulder pain or other pain in other places that if I would have pressed with proper form, it probably wouldn't have happened. So I'm just trying to save you guys from the pain. Now you can see at this clip, we are going for some assistance reps at the end of the set. This is where I'm finished. You can tell I'm done for. Tanner helps me lift it up, re-racks it. We're moving on to some lateral raises. Let's blow up them shoulders, baby. So in the start of this clip, we are warming up with some lighter dumbbells. I'm using only 25s here, trying to get Tanner's form down. It didn't look too bad, but here we are moving into the 45-pound dumbbells for a working set. I usually try to work in the 10 to 20 rep range with good form while adding some partials at the bottom of the set. You can see here I'm getting fatigued, but I'm still going for them partials even if I'm not able to get the dumbbell all the way up to where I was at the start of the set. You still need to continue. You still need to put constant tension on that side lateral delt if you want them to grow. There is no choice. And these are the partials that I'm talking about right there at the end of my set. Getting those final reps in, making sure I'm able to grow and progressive overload. And now you know what time it is. It's time to take the damn pump cover off. I had no more waiting in me. Now we are moving on to the second working set of lateral raises. You can see I am completely fatiguing the muscle, making sure I am taking it to complete failure. And here I'm just going to be throwing the dumbbells back on the rack and trying to help Tanner get them final extra reps on his last working set. The only thing I would say here on Tanner's form is to make sure that he keeps his head up in the future. Even on those final reps when you're going for the partials, you want to make sure you keep that chest up when you're raising. The only reason I'm saying for Tanner to keep his chest up when he's raising is it could lead to potential injury if you don't keep that chest up, you know what I mean? If you're raising in the wrong angle or direction, I could see it leading to potential injury. And now it is everybody's favorite time. It is time to start the arms portion of the lift, and getting started with it, we're doing a double rope tricep extension, one of my favorite tricep movements and one of my staples in my tricep routine for forever. It targets the long head very effectively, and the long head makes up about 2/3 of your tricep. So making sure that you put a long head biased tricep exercise into your routine very early, I think is very essential to growing your triceps and making sure that your arms develop very early into your lifting career or bodybuilding journey or whatever you want to do. You need to make sure that you emphasize that long head with whatever you're doing. Now, I'm also not telling you that you have to go extremely science-based when picking tricep exercises or movements. I'm just telling you that I think it would be in your best interest to try to bias the long head. Now we are doing 2 working sets for this movement. You can see I'm getting towards the end of my working set and I have nothing left to give, getting my final partials in, making sure that I'm getting complete tension on the long head. I didn't choose to do a drop set because I did some pretty heavy weight and I was trying to work in about the 10 to 20 rep range with this long head bias movement. Here's Tanner on his working set. Now he did choose to do a drop set for his set. And that's the cool thing with lifting and bodybuilding. If you feel the need to do so or want to throw in more volume, you can. So here you can see Tanner getting to the final reps of his working set, and now he's moving on to his drop set right after. I don't know if this kid wanted to turn into Ozzy Osbourne or what, but he starts headbanging right at the end of this working set. And I thought that was pretty funny. But here we go on to our first working set of actual biceps. We're doing a rope hammer curl. We are making sure that we are getting complete supination of the bicep at the top of the movement. We are turning the rope down at the bottom of the movement and getting the complete turn of it at the top, making sure that I can feel the bicep being worked at every single rep. This is one of my favorite movements to do for biceps just because it's on the cable. You get complete tension throughout the whole entire movement. And also another important thing to point out for biceps, it's a pretty minor muscle group, so you do not need to do a lot of volume or a lot of working sets to grow these bad boys. Just making sure that you're taking every working set to failure should be your highest priority. There's nothing much more to say about the end of this working set. I'm just trying to get every single rep that I can in. And like I said, even when you can't get a full rep in, make sure you're trying to get that tension out of the bicep. You can see here I'm keeping complete tension even when I'm not getting the full rep. That's perfect execution. And here we go. Tanner's on his first working set of rope hammer curls. You can see the supination he's getting at the top. I was emphasizing this to him. And like I said, keeping it simple but training very hard is really cliche, but it's one of the easiest things you can do in bodybuilding that will help you grow. Just training hard and knowing how to take everything to failure. And I believe and think that knowing what true failure is takes a while in the gym. It may take a year or two, honestly, to get the training intensity down that a lot of these old school bodybuilders had back in the day to grow the arms like those. Now, I'm not saying I got massive arms. Those are probably only like 16s. 16 and a half naturally. Here's Tanner giving me a front double bicep, and here we are moving on to our second tricep movement of tricep straight bar push downs, moving some heavy weight. I had the idea of moving in about the 8 to 15 rep range here. Now your form with these doesn't have to be completely perfect. You can see that I'm allowing the bar to go up quite a bit of ways when I'm doing these push downs. A lot of people say you have to have completely strict form and allow those elbows to really not move at all. You can see I'm allowing them to move upwards. And moving the weight with this form allows me to also get the final last reps in, because if I'm not allowing the bar to rise up like that and give me some sort of momentum, I'm not going to be able to get those last final reps in. And you can see at the end of this working set, I am devoting everything I've got. I'm making sure that all the reps are emptied out of the tank and making sure we grow them guns, baby. Here we are moving on to Tanner's working set, and I just wanted to reiterate something about this shoulder and arm day. We have only done 4 working sets for the shoulders, 4 working sets for the triceps, and at the end of the workout, we will only have done 3 sets of biceps. And honestly, guys, that is completely enough volume to grow your shoulders and arms. And I did not throw a rear delt movement into this shoulder and arms day, because usually I put that on my back days. And that is to not say that you couldn't throw a rear delt movement onto your shoulder and arm day. The only reason I would is if you were lagging in the rear delt department and wanted to grow them first, you could possibly throw a rear delt fly or extension, into your first movement and get that out at the start of the workout so you can try to grow them effectively. And I think it can be of benefit to throw a movement at the start of your workout, since you are fresher at the beginning of your workout. It means you can exert more and probably move more weight around. Now, I did not record the final working set of biceps, which it was just one working set of alternating dumbbell curls, which you guys already know how to do anyways. So I'm going to end off the video here. I just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. And for everybody that did tune in, have a blessed day and keep pumping iron.